Whether you're buying your first domain name or you're a regular domain investor, you need the right tools for the job. That's why you need domain tools. They can help you research the history of a domain, including who owned it and what used to be on the site. They can notify you when a domain is expiring, and they can even alert you when competitors are buying domains. DomainTools.com needs to be in your toolbox like it is in mine. Sign up for your free account on DomainTools.com today. If you're a domain name investor, don't you have unique legal needs that require technical know-how and industry experience? That's why you need David Westlow of Wiley Ryan. If you watched his interview on my show, you know he can clearly explain issues and help you with buy-sell agreements, website content issues, UDRP actions, or even website terms and conditions. David Westlow is the lawyer you call for internet legal issues. See for yourself at newmediaip.com. Managing multiple domain name marketplace and auction site accounts is a pain. We all know it. Inevitably, you forget to sign into one, you lose a great domain. Now imagine using a single, simple-to-use, comprehensive control panel to manage all of your accounts. That's Protrata. With just a few clicks, you can analyze, set filters, automate your bidding, and sell your domains across all major marketplaces, including Namejet, GoDaddy, and SnapNames. You can build out websites using their customized Google-friendly templates. They also just launched a fresh new look and provide some great resources like a personal assistant named Alfred and video tutorials with tips and tricks. I've been beta testing their iPhone app, and it is slick. Get your free 14-day trial now at Protrata.com. Here's your program. Hey everyone, my name is Michael Seiger and I'm the publisher of DomainSherpa.com, the domain name authority and the place where you can learn how to become a successful domain name entrepreneur directly from the experts themselves. You know what we do here. We bring on a successful domain name investor or entrepreneur, ask them to share how they became successful, and then we motivate you to do the same in your area of expertise. Then you can come on the show and give back to others about what you learned and how you became successful. The big question for this show is, how do you leverage thousands of domain names to create the largest buy local network in the world? Joining me to answer this question is Colin Pape. Colin is co-founder and president of ShopCity.com, a network of e-commerce shopping websites that help businesses sell products and services to their local communities. Colin, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Mike. Pleasure to be here.
Colin, let's start the show with some information on ShopCity.com. I'm not sure if I captured the essence of ShopCity in my introduction. How do you describe ShopCity to merchants and or shoppers in a local area?
Sure. It's basically a local community marketplace. So we enable businesses to promote, publish, and sell online. We give them the tools to reach their local customer base. And we've done it through a series of domains that represent each individual community that we serve. So shopboston.com, shopnewyork.com. Each community in the network gets their own domain, which enables us to do offline marketing and take advantage of partnerships that we wouldn't be able to access with a single domain.
Got it. Okay, so I'm going to dig into all those areas that you described because I want to know how you actually build out individual company sites on the shopboston.com website and how you tie them together and how you're able to take advantage of marketing buys that you wouldn't if you just owned a single geo domain, for example.
Sure.
But let me start off by saying I love the concept of supporting businesses that support your local community. It's the local businesses are the lifeline of most small towns and larger cities. Shop Main Street, shop independent. We really need communities to focus on this more, or small businesses in everybody's city area will cease to exist. Mm-hmm. So, I fully support you in the mantra that you have for your business.
Thank you.
So you built ShopCity through a network of domain names. How many domain names in total does ShopCity own today?
Shop City has about 8,000 domains. I personally have a number of other non-Shop City domains, but in total there's 8,000. Most of them are community specific. Some of them are related to specific campaigns and terms, and more globally focused domains like shoplocally.com.
Gotcha. All right. So I'm going to ask you about your personal domains also, but let me ask you a few more questions about Shop City. So do they all, the 8,000 domain names that are in Shop City's portfolio, do they all have the word shop, then the city name, then the .com top level domain?
Yes, that's correct. We do have a number of them, probably in the low hundreds, that are .ca domains as well. A lot of overlap between community names between Canada and the U.S. So in those circumstances, the .com goes to the U.S., .ca goes to Canada, and then in other cases, we're using Shop City and then first.com if there are multiple communities that have the same name. The .com goes to the larger community, and then the smaller community, like Anderson, for instance, we just realized today there's like 10 or 12 Andersons. So we've got to come up with a variation, and we are working on a geo-targeted system that will enable us to use one domain to represent multiple communities. But basically it would be shopcity.com, and there's probably under 100 Shop City First domains as well.
Got it. And so you mentioned that most of them were .com, but that you have some .ca also. Is that, why is that?
Yeah, just like Edmonton, for instance, is a community that's in the U.S., and then there's a Canadian one as well. So it's basically just a way to cover both those communities. .ca is very well respected and recognized in Canada. It's pretty much the equivalent of .com. There's really no bias one way or another, both very official. So in the event that we have two communities, we'll put .ca in Canada. And it's still a very brandable name. I think as far as GTLD goes, it's probably one of the nicer ones. It's got a nice ring, CA. It's similar to .com, nice and short. So.
Definitely. And I just had Adam Dicker on the show, and you mentioned that you had watched his show, and he's up in Canada, of course, and he has a large .ca portfolio as well. It's very popular up in Canada. And you're actually based in Canada, is that correct?
Yes, I'm in Canada right now. The company itself, we've got Canadian and U.S. companies, and a couple of our co-founders are from the Bay Area and New Jersey. So it's kind of an international company, but I myself right now am north of Toronto, a community called Midland. It's a little town where I grew up. It's 16,000 people. It's a recreational town. Everybody comes here to go sailing in the summer and snowmobiling in the winter. So it's been a great place to grow up and live. And my brother Nathan, who's 3 years younger than me, he is currently living out in Palo Alto. So we've kind of done a bit of a swap this year. He was getting a little sick of the snow, so.
Great. And so aside from your brother down in the Bay Area, are all of the employees up in the Canada area for Shop City?
They're kind of spread, and a lot of people are really working remotely. I think we're pretty good with our use of technology to communicate and bring people together virtually. So we do have people who are working from all over the place. Jim, for instance, is in north of the Bay Area. He's just north of Napa in a fairly small community as well. He grew up in San Jose. And then Prentice, one of our other founders, he is in another small community, Rivervale, in New Jersey.
How many employees do you have in total?
We're at 18 employees right now.
Wow. And so give me a feel for, across all 8,000 domain names, 8,000 Shop City domain names, how many unique visitors do you receive per month, and how many total page views?
Page views, I'm going to have to look at that. I think it's probably around 2 million. Unique visitors right now, we're around 500,000. It's really kind of early days for us still. I kind of saw the intro, and successful domainer. I think that we're just getting started, and so we're active right now in 30 communities where we have a city manager or a partner, somebody feet on the street, and we've got tons and tons of growth ahead of us. We've been scaling quite a bit in the past year, but we're really just getting started.
All right. So Just to clarify, you have about 500,000 unique visitors per month,
Uh,
and you're displaying about 2 million page views.
yeah, I think
Okay.
that's correct. I'd have to look at the page
Roughly
view.
is good, just to get an
Yep.
idea.
Yep.
And what's the revenue of Shop City?
Revenue right now, where this will be the first year where we're over $1 million. This company was bootstrapped and kind of run alongside a web development and hosting company.
Hmm.
And our revenue is up, I think, 600% this year over last year.
Wow.
And we are basically just handling inbound demand. We don't have a VP of sales yet. We haven't really begun outbound sales. We've just been kind of handling the people who found out about us, come through, become partners, and then they started selling us in their community. So,
All right, so you're looking for a VP of sales if anybody is watching.
yeah, definitely, we're in the market. Yep.
Excellent. And with revenue passing $1 million, are
Mhm.
you profitable as a company yet?
We're just getting there. It's been, we've had a burn rate of, a total expense rate of just under 100,000 a month for the past couple of years. So, it's when you start booting up a company that's serving large partners, working with media companies like Buffalo News, which is owned by Berkshire Hathaway, and New York Times. You got to have all the support staff and everything in place. And so we've had to basically invest in all of those different functions to secure the partnerships and to maintain a strong relationship with our early customers that enables us to get more customers. So there's been a considerable expense, but just in the past 6 months, it's really started going the other way. And kind of just recently, we've been very close to break even, which is great.
Excellent. And so, with only 18 employees, you alluded to this earlier. You run 30 communities, and you can actually take live up to 8,000 communities. Is that correct? A community for each domain name you own?
That's right. Yes. So yeah, the people in the community, the 18, that's basically our core staff. And then in those markets, it's actually a local partner. So we have something that's similar to, it's a licensing model where they essentially come in. It's generally a media company, but it could be a city government, it could be an entrepreneur, and they basically license the rights to that individual city, and then we do a rev share. So there's an upfront licensing fee, and then we split the gross revenue that comes in. Payments are handled by our system, and then we pay out to the local city manager as well as any affiliate sales representatives once a month.
Oh, interesting. In my research, when I was looking through your city, I saw the franchise model. For a certain price, you will bring on basically a franchisee in a certain city. I didn't realize that it could actually be a city government. So that's fantastic. All right, so we're going to dig into how you built Shop City. But before we do that, I want to ask you a few personal questions. In my research, I discovered that you're a domain name investor yourself. How many domain names do you personally own, and in what TLDs?
It's probably about 1,000 or so now. Most of them are .com. I got a couple that are .cas, a couple that are .orgs, but I'd say probably 95% are .com.
Any category killer .coms like shopping.com or anything like that?
That would be a nice one to own. Truthfully, a lot of them are more, and this is, we talked about you having kind of things that apply to people now, and not things that were only possible back in the late 90s or early 2000s. A lot of the domains that I own, they're for business concepts that have come out recently. So I'm definitely always watching the news, checking to see what new technologies or new business concepts are coming about. So I would say a lot of them are focused along those lines. So I expect in the next few years, a lot of them will become more well-known and valuable. A lot of them are for business names as well. So I'll just kind of have this would be a great company name, and I'll register if it's got a nice, short, great sounding name. So
yeah, great. Prior to Shop City, you founded another company called Axiom Digital Services.
Yes.
What did you do at Axiom?